What's up, guys? Welcome to today's episode of the Built Different podcast. I'm here with Daphne and Patrick from MCC Community College. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, you guys have been building ever since you guys moved into this building. And tell me a little bit about what you guys do at MCC.
Well, we have been building a small business development center, and that's the focus of what Patrick and I do in little different areas. And so as of January 1, it was official. We are a small business development center, which means we have a plethora of resources available to the public that they can utilize for free.
Awesome. So Small Business Development Center.
Mm-hmm.
And why did Metro decide to get into that?
Because there's a need. We have people who are entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, and they really want to take an idea that is inside their head and bring it to fruition. And though we have classes and degrees, that is not the path for everyone. Some people want to hop right in both feet and bring that product out. And so going through the Small Business Development Center is a way to do that, because it's not about starting your business, it's about making it sustainable.
That's so cool. And what made you guys want to join that venture?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually joined MCC in the summer of 2024. I started out as Director of Development within MCC's foundation. And at that time, we were really, myself and Jordan Matukowicz, who still is over in the foundation, were really focusing in on how do we better engage our alumni for MCC. And one way to do that is through the businesses they've gone on to create. So that certainly was kind of the angle that got me attached to some of the efforts over on the business side of things, and eventually, right around last Thanksgiving, hopped over to this department.
Daphne, I'll ask you the same question. What made you want to get involved with the
SBDC?
SBDC?
Well, I tell you what, I am a musician, and so I deal with a lot of creatives. But what I found really interesting is that entrepreneurs are some of the most creative people out there. And the reason they are is because they are addressing pain points. They are coming up with innovative solutions for the problems that we have out there. And so the entrepreneurs are creatives, and I am very happy to help those ideas come and be sustainable in our community. Because if they need them, somebody else does too.
Yeah, that's very well said. I love that you brought that up. So I'm an entrepreneur and have been for quite some time. And I never viewed myself as creative until someone started telling me that I was. And then, because I always thought, you had to be an artist or a musician in order to be creative. And just to your point, like, you're figuring out creative solutions to problems.
And then on the other side of that too, creative people need to see themselves as business owners, because really they are. They're marketing themselves. They want to expand what they're doing, whether they're an artist, whether they're a musician, whether they're a writer. And so there are ways to do that. So it goes both ways.
I will also say I had a boss back when I was with United Way who struggled with the am I a creative or not thing as well. And the word he ended up going with was, well, not necessarily a creative, but I am conceptual. And similar sorts of problem solving, that if you're conceptual and analytical, you're creative right there by the way you approach problems.
Definitely. So have you started a business?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Tell
as
me
I
a little
mentioned,
bit about that.
Oh my goodness. Like many entrepreneurs, I have like 5 different things in the hopper.
Oh, yeah.
So I do AI consulting. So I've just started doing that, which I really love working with businesses, because there are so many, AI can do so many things, but that doesn't mean that that's the right thing for you. So that's been really helpful. I mean, I like helping the community. And then I have an Etsy store that I am in the process of revamping. And that's been a fun process too, because looking at what's selling, what's not selling. And so I'm going in a new direction. So I'm doing that. And as I said, I'm a musician, I'm a writer. And so doing all those things. And I find that it just lets you express yourself in so many ways. And so I don't know, people become an entrepreneur for a lot of different reasons. A lot of times it's to solve a problem. I don't think anyone goes in and says, I want to be a millionaire, and that's the goal. Maybe. I mean, I think you want to make money with it, and a lot of people want to eventually transition to that. But for myself, it's a great way of expression, and it's a great way to serve the community. So I've got like 5 different things in the hopper.
Awesome.
And some things make more money more than others. Let's just say that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Patrick, what about you?
I have 2 LLCs technically that I'm tied to. Neither of which are particularly active, but one is a creative dramatics company, so similar to what like the Rose and Omaha Performing Arts do of working with young people to tell their stories. We have one that's kind of based here, kind of based in Chicago, because it's my sister and I, and she's a Chicago public school teacher, but just around drama education. And now my father and I are working on a similar one about just how do you simplify financial education, because he had been a community college educator when I was growing up, in addition to primarily being a sales trainer.
Yeah, so you find that it's pretty, like a lot of financial education is super high level. And so when you say, to dumb it down, right, bring it down, it's like a 3rd grade level. So it's just a little bit simpler and easier for people to get in on the entry level so that they can start learning faster.
I mean, it's, to some extent, a lot of financial education is literally basic budget work, but you have to be thinking long term. So it's not necessarily all that complicated, it's just longer term budgeting, at least at its most basic level.
Okay. Yeah. Budgeting is tricky because sometimes.
And how do we simplify it?
Yeah. And then do we stick to it? That's been my issue.
Right.
Discipline's required.
Yes.
I just want to mention, since we're talking about finances and budgeting, that's one of the things that we do in the Business Development Center. Sometimes there's a fear of the numbers, but there is a lot of empowerment in knowing your numbers. And it's okay not to know everything, and that's why we have a team. I'll often meet people out in the wild, and they do some really great thing, and I'll say, okay, now you're informally a part of my team, and I will be contacting you. So it's okay that you don't know everything. You are allowed to learn in public.
I love that. You're allowed to learn in public. That's beautiful. That's super empowering, too, because a lot of people think that they're, flayed out and they're vulnerable and they don't want to, be seen for their weaknesses. But how do you strengthen yourself? How do you grow if you're not learning around others that can help you grow faster?
Exactly.
Yeah. So Daphne, you said that you are a writer. What's your favorite piece that you've written, or what are you working on currently?
I like writing things that you can think about. One of the things that I am writing about right now is just external validation and overextension, and not looking to that external validation, and just really walking into and stepping into and being comfortable about who you are and the things that you're good at.
That's good. And so it sounds like you've had a little journey of that yourself.
Aren't we all on a journey?
Yes, that's beautiful. Thank you. Patrick, what's your favorite project that you're working on right now?
Oh, the SBDC. Like it's the work. It's everything. One thing that's really, I think, unique in comparison to a lot of other business development centers throughout the country is we really are zeroing in on the words consultant and coach. We want to take that tone that we're a partner. We don't have all the answers, but we want to help you come up with yours.
So you guys got a lot of resources there, a lot of connections. I'm sure you need more.
Well, a lot of it is just doing some national best practices research. There's a few different ones, NACRO, which I'm going to get the acronym wrong, but essentially corporate relations for higher education, and then also NACE, which is community colleges, National Association of Community Colleges and Entrepreneurship. That's basically what it is. I might have gotten the exact wording wrong, but essentially those. So we're able to see what is happening throughout the country and kind of pick what fits our needs the best. So we're able to kind of pick and choose in that direction.
And we do have workshops which are open to the public. Anyone can come in, you just register. And the workshops are on a variety of topics. AI and legal documents are pretty popular right now with business owners, but also the different ways that you can start a business, whether it's making your idea come to light, whether it's purchasing a franchise. There are just so many ways that you can start a business. So I think just going online to mccneb.edu, SBDC and checking out all of the resources that are available.
Okay, say that one more time, a little bit slower, so our Built Different audience can find you.
mccnab.edu/SBDC.
Okay, is there something they can Google in case they can't get the letters right?
Yeah, you can Google MCC Business Development Center, where you can find out about consulting and pop-ups and workshops and courses, and actually space to come hang out if you need a space to hang out.
Well, thank you for being a part of the Built Different podcast, but also being really engulfed in the community and helping our community in Omaha grow. I imagine you guys are going to impact a lot of business owners and soon to be entrepreneurs. So thank you for your commitment.
Thank you.